Welcome to the Psychedelic Integration Podcast. I'm Sinclair Fleetwood, a ceremonialist, plant medicine guide, and psychedelic integration coach, and I help soul seekers create lasting transformation so you can get unstuck, embody your power, and be authentic AF, all with plant medicine as your guide. If you're ready to go beyond visuals and get a vision for your life, if you know the end of your ceremony is just the beginning of your expansion, then this show is for you. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. Hey family, welcome to the show. I'm Sinclair. Thanks for being here. I just got home from a super long trip to Ecuador where I was roaming the earth. I went up a volcano. I went to the cloud forest. I went to the beach. I spent time with my medicine family. I drank a lot of medicine. I did 4 sweat lodges, and I took my partner to experience Ecuador for the first time, to experience Hayalima for the first time. He had his first encounter with grandmother ayahuasca, and it was such a beautiful trip. It was so beautiful to get to be part of his experience and to go back there after a couple of years of not having been there, and to have brought my integrated self there and to be in a place where I wasn't in need of this deep healing that I had come there with so many times. It was a filling of my cup, and it was so different, and it was so unexpected, and it was so many things that I needed and so many things that surprised me and inspired me. And I feel like bursting at the seams to share all the stuff that's coming through. And I want to remind you of a few things before we get started in this episode. Number 1, Resonance April is in just over a week. We are 10 days away from this beautiful gathering that we have here in Appalachia. It's our first gathering since November. So we have not been meeting in person for many, many months. The winter is over, spring has arrived, and we have a few spots left. If you're interested in a last minute getaway, you want to come sit around a sacred fire in a beautiful place and heal with the family, integration is included, and we're going to have a great time. We just had our preparation call last night. It was amazing. We would love to have you join us. If you want to learn more and get the full invite, get this show on the road, I have a few spots left for discovery calls. We are closing registration next Monday evening. So if you want to come, book a call, go to sinclairfleetwood.com/events. You can click on book a discovery call and get on my calendar so we can get you in. And if April's doesn't work for you, we have July and September events coming, and you can get registered for those now. We are filling up, so it's good to make your reservation early. We are still accepting donations for the Healing Tiger Community Fund. This is a project so close to my heart. I have been wanting to do scholarships for my events and my coaching for a long time, and my community made it happen. We have awarded 2 scholarships to people in Asheville to come to a retreat and also get 6 months of integration support around their experience. If you would like to donate, any amount helps. We have another applicant. We really want to get her in a retreat, and we need to raise another $1,648 to get her in. So if you can help, let us know. You can go to my website, sinclairfleetwood.com/community fund to make a donation and learn more about what we are doing here. Lastly, Nest is open. Our Nest is so amazing. We meet every week. I call everyone in my nest my nesties. They're like my besties, but they're also like my family. So nesties. And we do the work of integration together. We talk about so many different things. Everybody's working on something different. Everyone is working with medicine in some way. And we come together weekly as a family to move through the integration into real life. And we would love to have you join. sinclairfleetwood.com/nest. You can learn all about how to join. The more months that you buy, the cheaper the prices. So you get a discount if you sign up for multiple months, or you can just join us monthly. It's a membership. You can come whenever you like, whatever is supportive for you. We would love to have you. And I also have a few spots of one-on-one private coaching. If you have been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, you need some clarity, you feel confused, you need some guidance, come book a session with me. We can do so much in a single session. I also recommend booking multiple sessions so you can really get some momentum going on your path. You don't have to do this alone. You are not alone, and there's only so much you can do with the podcast. Like, my podcast is about 5% of what I can offer inside of my containers because it's just one show, it's 1 hour. So if you want more support, go to my website, sinclairfleetwood.com/psychedelic-integration and learn how to work with me one-on-one. My website has so much information on it. It's got all kinds of free stuff. If you're not on my email list, please sign up. I send out a weekly newsletter called The Visionary Within, and I would love to have you learn more about how you can do this work in the best way for you. It's really great to be home, and it's really weird to be home. I don't know if you've ever had the privilege of traveling for multiple weeks at a time. I've been able to do that many times in the last 7 years when I blew up my life, burned it all down, quit my job, and decided I was going to do something else. Travel has been a huge part of my path, and it's so powerful as a reminder to shake you out of your sleep, to shake you out of your perpetual drowning that we have going on in our modern existence. We're drowning in too much. We're drowning in too much and not enough at the same time. And we are coming to the medicine with all of these problems that are incredibly complicated, right? We have like a hydra head of, I have this problem and this is happening with my body and this thing is happening in my relationship and my job is this and I hate this and I don't know what to do. And it's like, all these problems. And what I have learned in myself over and over and over, and I have to keep being reminded because that's the nature of our modern existence, right? Is less. The answer is always less. The answer is subtractive. The answer is clearing away. The answer is simplicity. Simplicity. So I was staying in Airbnbs and, in the retreat center and hotels and things. And I like to cook for myself. I'm a rather opulent person as far as comfort goes. Like, I like to be really comfortable. And beauty is important to me. I like things to be beautiful and colorful and soft and warm and cozy. And that doesn't mean like they need to be expensive, like you can be opulent without being overly fancy. Going into a different culture, a different country where everything is different is such a good experience to have as a human being. Because we are so self-centered. We are so stuck and wrapped in our own experience and our own belief system and our own ideas of what is true and our own preferences. And there is nothing that will snap you out of that faster than going to a place where you have to carry your own water for 20 minutes, half a mile, something, where you have to make do with knives that aren't sharp or use a plastic lid as a cutting board, or there's no air conditioning, there's no fans, there's no screens. Just these things that we take for granted, like supermarkets and owning our own cars and having our own home, and this isolationist way that we live, where we're just all sort of sitting in our homes, like hoarding possessions, because that's what we've been told we need to be happy and fulfilled. And I walked into my apartment after traveling for 2 days straight to get back from Ecuador. And I walked in and I looked at my place and I was like, holy shit, I am wealthy. I was looking at all the beautiful art that I've collected over the years and like the, my $300 couch that I got used and all the things that everything in my house is used almost. All of my furniture is like hand-me-down used furniture. Like, I don't have fancy stuff or expensive stuff. I live in an apartment, a modest apartment. And I was just overwhelmed by the opulence and beauty and like abundance of my own home. To come back to a place that's so comfortable and soft and wonderful and that I love so much, it was overwhelming. And I just was sort of hit by a wave of like, wow, this idea that I need more of anything is so false. I opened my closet and I'm like, you have so many clothes. You have soft bedding and you have like all these, creams for your face and like all these ornaments of beauty. I have like, 30 houseplants, like just the things that are in my home, the amount of dishes and plates that I got secondhand, but it's still, to go from a place that has like nothing matches and there's 4 cups and 4 plates and good luck finding a knife and like or a pan that's not covered in Teflon. I was like, I have a cast iron skillet. And I was thinking about how false our story of I need this to be okay is. And I was thinking of this little abuelo, this little man that sells fruit on the street in Ayampe, where I go and stay at the beach. And I have been seeing this man for years, for like 7 years. This guy has been in the same little house, selling pineapples and tomatoes and coconuts. And he has eggs sometimes. And, he just has like a 6-foot table that has some vegetables on it. And he doesn't stand there waiting. He's playing cards. And his house has like a dirt floor. It's, by our standards, this family is living in poverty. But he doesn't seem unhappy to me whatsoever. He seems completely content. So I started calling him Abuelo Piña because he had really nice pineapples. And I would just pay attention. When I was walking past his little spot on the street, I would pay attention to him. And one day they were having a big party outside of the house and like it was somebody's birthday and they were having a big grill and they were making food and nobody's wearing shoes. It was beautiful. And it just got me thinking about how unhappy and dissatisfied and depressed and anxious and crippled we are by our neuroses and how it feels like we are actually drowning perpetually, like drowning in possessions. And we think we need more. And the more things we get, the more burdened we feel. We're drowning in information that's promising us wisdom, but instead makes us feel paralyzed. And we're drowning in choices that promise agency, but deliver anxiety. We have so many choices. And I like having choices. I like to choose a nice thing. I like to go to the grocery store and be like, I'm going to get this nice thing that's healthy for my body. Those things are nice. I'm not saying they're bad. But what it feels like in the context of regular life, but also your spiritual life, and I've been hearing this from my clients a lot, feeling like you're getting blasted by a spiritual fire hydrant and you need to do more research and do more healing and do more courses and listen to more podcasts and learn more and look this thing up. And the stimulation that we are undergoing at all times is paralyzing us. We are literally drowning in an ocean of distraction. And we don't have any silence. And we don't have any boredom and we don't have any room for anything to come up, any ideas, creativity, any spontaneity, because we're always doing something. We're always listening to something. We're always watching something. We're always consuming something. We're always buying something. We are always looking for something to solve the persistent problem that we have created. And the problem is that we have an addiction to being broken. So our identities are built around struggle and complexity. And all of our problems are so complex. And we are collecting modalities and professionals and treating insights like accolades and basically turning healing into another way that capitalism can use us to consume. That is the theory that I have felt come through. So when I was at this ayahuasca retreat, I was asking for support with my body, my physical body. I was asking for support with my spiritual energy, my physical energy, my creative energy, like asking spirit to open the way, And one of the things that kept coming through over and over and over was just, we're not these like radical insights. Psychedelics are radical simplifiers. They offer revelation of enoughness. They offer insights as subtractions. So they're dissolving the things that we don't need. What I realized is I'm not lacking anything. I am buried. I am buried under this idea that there is something wrong that needs to be fixed, whether it's spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical. And I have talked about this on the show in different episodes about like this warrior part that wants to, like struggle and fight, and how do we give that part of ourselves another job? And the way the medicine helps us, the way our plant allies help us in this way is to bring us, and everybody who does medicine knows this. You come to this crystalline instant where all the spiritual concepts fade away. All your self-improvement problems are solved. All the knowledge that you think you need, all the clarity you think you need becomes irrelevant. Everything you think you know is true, no longer matters. And it's almost comical. It almost always is kind of funny. And you just laugh at yourself like, what a sad, stupid little monkey I am. Like, why am I like this? And what is underneath all of that is the medicine showing you are a being. This is what pure being is like. It takes away all of the thoughts. It takes away all of the solving, the suffering, the not-enoughness, and shows you the clear crystalline truth, which is you are a being of light. You are consciousness expressing in this body, in this avatar, in this personality. And this is what people are looking for when they're asking for ego death. They want the clarity behind the ego. But the ego doesn't have to die for you to receive this and to know it. It's there always. And something that landed so much in me with this particular trip to Ecuador was this like deep knowledge that I don't need to do more. I need to do less. I don't need to fix anything. It's inherently my body knows exactly what to do. So my work is to shed like a snake. Shed your skin like a snake. Let go. What can you let go of? There's always some example in nature, right? And if you look at how nature works, nature doesn't hoard. Rivers don't hoard. There's nothing in nature that's holding on to usable energy or keeping a transformation from happening because it might need it later. If you think about the ways that humans think, we have been incepted with this idea of scarcity. And so what does that mean? Like, where does the scarcity come from? Well, scarcity is not having enough. There's in some way not being enough. Maybe it comes from when we were young, we didn't have enough food, or we didn't have enough like physical contact, or we didn't have enough attention. We didn't have enough parenting. We didn't have enough shelter. Like, there are ways that you can receive this program as a child so that your nervous system never feels safe. So it never feels like enough. So maybe you are hoarding possessions. Maybe you're hoarding food inside your body as like body fat, or you're just holding on to things in your life, right? This can also be ancestral, right? Like, I always joke that I have like Celtic peasant DNA. So my body holds on to like food because maybe my ancestors went through famines or we're like potato farmers or something. And the body learned, I need to save this energy so that I have some when there's no food. And I have looked at this scarcity in my own line for my grandmother. My grandmother was very wealthy. She was like a self-made woman. She owned real estate and she made herself, and she went through the Depression. And you would open closets in her house and she would just have like a whole wall of paper towels or a whole wall of canned food that she canned herself. Like, so some of those behaviors, they get in our tissues, in our systems, and they're passed down through generations. This is what we call ancestral trauma, right? And we are doing the work with the medicine of healing this and letting our bodies feel safe and teaching our nervous systems to feel safe, because we live in a time of not having to go without, and not having scarcity and having excess time and energy and money to be spiritual and to learn and to grow and to like look at these places in our lives where we need to heal. And so it comes from a lot of different places. This like program we get of like, there's not enough, And I have been looking at this in myself for a long time as it relates to my relationship with money, my relationship with my work, my relationship to like bringing in clients and having people work with me, and my relationship to service and like giving my work away in some ways and trusting that spirit in the universe is going to take care of me financially. All of that has been a trust practice through letting go of control and trusting life to take care of me. And when we look at ourselves as spiritual beings, as natural beings of this earth, we see the cycles in nature. We see the cycles in ourselves. Think about our breath. We breathe in, we breathe out. You can't get another breath in until you breathe out. Then you can breathe in, then you breathe out. And it's just like that. Your entire life. Never too much. Always enough, right? It's natural. We don't even have to think about it. Our bodies are made to do this actually on their own. And our heartbeat is the same. It beats. It sends the blood along. It's going through. And you can see this in nature over and over in the seasons. So in the winter, the leaves are gone. The fall is the letting go. And in the winter, everything is gone. And it's that like fasting state, right? It's like the sleep state. It's the state of symbolic death that has to happen so that spring can come. So now we're in spring in North America. Spring, the leaves are coming back. The animals are coming back. It's getting warmer. And if we didn't have winter, this wouldn't be able to happen. Did you know that peaches, the fruit, peaches, one of my favorite fruits, cannot make fruit unless they spend a certain amount of time below like 30 degrees or 20 degrees or something. They have to freeze in order for their fruits to come. What? Isn't that crazy? Nature is so smart. This is our inherent truth, is that we are part of nature. And we have put on clothes and put on suits, and we have computers, and we spend most of our time walking around pretending like we're not part of nature, that we're above nature, that we master nature. And what is it getting us? It's making us sick as fuck. It's making us neurotic and crazy and depressed and upset and sad and anxious and have all kinds of physical, emotional, and mental illnesses because we are drowning in too muchness, too much stuff, because we are desperately trying to fill the void inside of us that feels scarce, because we have bought into this idea that there's not enough, and that is not true. There is enough for everyone. There is always enough for everyone. The reason that it feels like there's not enough is because of this belief. So it's like the Ouroboros. It's like the snake eating its own head, right? It's like the more that we believe that there's not enough, the more inequity there is, and the more wealth is getting pushed into the hands of, a very few, very, very few people. And the more the masses don't have enough. And that's when revolution comes. That's when empires collapse. And, we're seeing some beginnings of that happening now. I don't like to talk about politics on this show, so I'm not going to. But I will say this: what's happening in the government is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to look at our own lives and see where we can do with less, and how much of what we actually spend our money on do we really care about? How much do we actually need? And how much of what's going out and these things that we think we need, how much of that is actually helping our spiritual development and our spiritual growth? Like, how much of the consumerism that we participate in, and I participate in it, everyone does. If you're alive on earth, you're participating in it. But we're doing it a little unconsciously. And when times start to get a little scary, when things start to get crumbly and scary in the government, everyone starts to freak out. And I'm not saying this is a good thing that's happening, but I'm saying it's a necessary thing that's happening, because this is what happens. This is what happens when there's imbalance. When there's an imbalance, often it goes so far to the edge that it breaks apart the system, because it goes over the edge of the cliff, because that's what needs to happen to right the system. And we know, without even talking about it too much, how many inequities and how much greed and how much really focus on profit and misuse of resources and really people having the wrong priorities and not having empathy or compassion or really valuing what's important. And I don't know about you, but I want to use my money in the way that supports me the best. I want to be taken care of physically. I want to take care of my health. Our health is the most important thing that we have. Our mental health is the most important thing that we have. Our emotional health, our spiritual health, these are all one thing. When things get tough, I do spiritual work so that I can withstand anything. I sit in a sweat lodge so that I can come out of it and be like, I can handle whatever. We fast because we want to be resilient and strong. We go without to appreciate the water. We go without to appreciate the food, to appreciate what we have, to become grateful instead of, I need more, I need more, I need more. I don't want to be a person walking this earth asking for more. We have more than has ever been in any time. We have a higher quality of life than has ever been experienced. And a lot of the way that we live is unnecessarily consumptive, and I'm just as guilty as anyone else. This is not a soapbox judgment. It's a reflection of me looking in the mirror at myself and being like, how can I change? How can I change my belief system and my outlook and create a more sustainable, nourishing way of life? Because what I want more of is time. I want more time. I want to have value in my day. I want to spend time with people. I don't want to fill my day with distractions and information overload, and embracing the truth that you have exactly what you need inside of you already. Happiness doesn't come from stuff. It's nice to have stuff. It's nice to have things that you enjoy and that take care of you. It's nice. It's important to have a good quality of life. And some of the happiest people I have ever seen in my life have nothing. They have the shirt on their backs. They have dirt under their feet. They have pineapples on their table, and they are enjoying the shit out of themselves. And they're not caught up in the rat race, And I think that so much of this concept is tied up in our deep disconnection from spirit and our deep belief that we are not worthy, that we're not lovable, that we don't deserve to have enough. So we have decided that if we just strive and we just try really hard and we turn healing into another achievement and we find the right formula and we follow the right steps, we will be healed, Or if we get the family and the kids and the job, we will be fixed. If we can get all this outside stuff, we can be fixed and we can be healed. And the medicine laughs in our faces and is like, you are already healed. Everything you need is inside of you. You are a divine being of light. You are a world creator. You are a reality creator. You're a master manifester. You've forgotten, ha ha ha, you know? And what the medicine is showing us is we're not here to add. It's not that you take medicine to like leave yourself and come into another better version of yourself. What you were doing is being a spiritual squeegee, and you were squeegeeing the mold and the gunk and the soap scum out of your third eye so you can see. You're opening your third eye so you can see. You can see what's already there. You can see the truth. So you can have vision. And the vision is remembering what we're doing here. It's removing the programming so you can see what's already there. And removing what is not love and clarity and peace. This is why I say all the time to my clients, they'll say, I'm confused, I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, no, you're not. If you feel confused, it's because maybe it's not the right time. You don't have all the information yet. Or you're not being still and quiet enough, or you're not ready to hear the truth, because we make things complicated when we're not ready to face the truth. And when we feel attached to the identity of suffering, the identity of like, I'm broken, I have this condition or this diagnosis, or there's something wrong with me, we need to find a reason why, because we don't want it to be our fault. So we spend all of our time reading books and looking at Instagram and looking at podcasts and having somebody tell us like, here's how you feel. Here's what you think. This is what's going on. Read this, look at this, buy this. And the algorithms are designed to keep showing you more problems. If you have if you pay attention to one kind of problem on social media and there's like an adjacent problem and you look at that for a minute, they'll start showing you that. And then within a while, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I have that too. Like, we're constantly being told and programmed that there is something wrong. And what if I told you there's nothing wrong? There's nothing wrong with you. There has never been anything wrong with you. You are a perfectly functioning human having a normal reaction to a dysfunctional society. We are living in a crazy time, and being depressed because the world is like it is a normal reaction to what's going on. So what do we do about it? How do we take the lessons of the medicine to simplify, to do less? How do we embrace this like revelation of enoughness? How do we unbury ourselves? And I believe that we do it by letting go, by subtracting, by having empty hands and empty time and space inside of our bodies and space inside of our hearts and silence. And in this age of accumulation, trusting the emptiness, trusting the openness, and stop filling every silence with sound. Stop filling every space with objects. Stop filling every moment with this frantic urgency that you need to be doing something, you should be doing something. We're not here to build some grand spiritual edifice. Like, we're not here to build a monument to being spiritual in ourselves. We're here to dissolve into what is underneath all of this shit that we are carrying. Like, why do we make things so complicated? Because it's a defense mechanism. Because without the struggle, maybe this would crush us. Maybe we are warriors because we need something to be warriors against, and we don't feel empowered to take on the real things that we need to fight against. Or we don't know how, because the the overculture, the overlords they're so big and we're so tired. We're so tired because living like this is exhausting. You get to decide if you are choosing, we look at like taking things away as deprivation, but I see it now as liberation. One of the things I did on my trip before I went, I was like, I'm going to stop taking all my supplements. I've been taking supplements for years for all different kinds of things, magnesium, B vitamins, beef liver, stuff that, I'm sure was probably helping me. But over the last couple of years, I'm like taking 4 or 5 things and I'm like, do I really need to be taking all this stuff? What would happen if I stopped taking it? And I was terrified to stop taking it because I had this agreement that like, if I don't take these, like something bad is happening to my body, And I stopped taking them and I left them here. And so I couldn't get them and I couldn't get more. And I like left the country, left the continent. It was a good time to do it, I stopped using trackers for things like tracking what I eat or tracking how much I weigh, or I stopped working out for 6 weeks because I couldn't. All I could do was walk and do yoga and hike. And I had to let go of all of these like routines that I have. And I realized in letting them go, how long have I just been doing this because I think I'm supposed to? Like, do I actually like doing this? Do I feel better? I deleted all the apps off my phone that have anything to do with like measuring or tracking or keeping tabs on my body in any way. I leaned deeply into trusting that the food that was provided for me was nourishing and healthy, and I was going to be able to get what I needed out of it instead of being like, I need this much protein. And I did my best to like supplement a little bit. I brought some stuff because I do feel better when I eat more protein. And there were moments where I couldn't do it. And I also ate a bunch of croissants and like ice cream and went on vacation and ate food that I enjoyed and didn't think about it 1 millisecond. I just ate to enjoy. And all the noise and all of the you should this and you should that, there were no mirrors there. There was no judgment around what I was doing, what I was putting in my body. I ate beautiful Ecuadorian food that was a lot of rice and stuff that I normally wouldn't eat because it's heavy for my body to eat totally tons of carbs, right? And I just let it all go. I just let it all go. And I was like, I'm just going to trust this experience. I'm just going to be in this experience and I'm going to see what happens. And it was so scary. And it made me realize how complicated I've made my relationship with food, how complicated I've made my relationship with my body, how much stress I put on my body, trying to make it look a certain way or be a certain size. And how much healing I've done around that since I started this path. Because I do lift weights and I've been lifting weights for years, it was no problem for me to sit in a sweat lodge all night. It was no problem for me to do any physical activity that I wanted to do. I had no pain in my body whatsoever. 3 years ago when I went to Ecuador, I could barely walk. Like I had so much pain in my body all the time. And I've done so much healing. So to be able to see how far you've come and to see the practices that are supportive and to see the healing modalities that are supportive for you and to be able to step away from them for a while and be like, you know what? I really like that. I'm going to keep that. And also to try new things. I started doing yoga. I used to have a really great yoga practice. And then over the years, like COVID kind of broke my relationship with yoga. And I never really returned to it in the way that I had before. And I was like, I really enjoy yoga and I miss it. I mean, I'm a certified yoga teacher. And I'm like, I actually really enjoy this and I like it. And I'm going to start doing it more. And I think we come out of these experiences sometimes like, I need to do 400 things. I mean, believe me, I have I have like notes on my phone, I have journal writing, I have tons of stuff to like gather and integrate. But I would like to challenge you to take things off your list, right? Like, how do we make things less complex? Stop giving so many fucks. Give less fucks and start looking at unlearning as healing and taking things out as healing, like subtraction as healing. And the more we can let go of control, the more we can receive, the more present we get to be, the more integrated we are. And the more resilient we are, there's lots of things I want to do in my life, and many of them involve deep physical activity and travel and things. And I don't want to be the kind of person that needs everything to be just so, or I can't be okay. Not because there's something wrong with being that kind of person, but because it takes away from my enjoyment of the present when I'm like, it's not like this, so I'm unhappy. It's a choice to be unhappy. It's a choice to open, to let yourself say like, do I really need these things? What can I let go of? Where is less the answer in my life? And sometimes, really, I think one of the main places that you can do this is in your modalities and your habits. People come to work with me and they are like, okay, I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to meditate, I'm going to journal, I'm going to practice yoga, I'm going to walk, I invite you to do whatever you need to do to take care of your physical body. Because if the physical body is not in a good way, you will not have good luck doing the rest of your work. It's really hard to feel good spiritually, to feel your feelings when your body is not feeling good. So getting the physical body feeling good and getting your mental health in good order so that you can have good energy, feel calm, and have the empowered feelings you want to have so you can go out and do magic in the world. There are some practices that you want to do. But we don't need to do 17 practices a day at all. You know what would be more beneficial is choosing one thing and doing it every day for 3 months or 6 months and seeing how you feel. We are like, I'm going to start this, and then 2 days later, I'm going to start another thing. And by the end of the week, I'm going to have 5 things. I'm going to be doing 2 workouts a day. And I'm like, it's not sustainable to do it like that. And what happens when we do it like that, what happens is we go to extremes. We can't sustain the extreme, so we go back to doing nothing. So then we call ourselves a failure, and we think, if I can't do it perfect, I'm not going to do it at all. And I've watched myself do it like that for so many years, and I can see and feel that I'm getting more wise, and I'm getting more like, I have a lot of experience. I know what I'm doing. I'm in myself. I know what I'm doing. I know what I need. And now I'm coming into an era of telling things to fuck off. And like, I don't need this. I don't want this. And it feels awesome to use that sort of discernment of like, actually, no, like, I don't need this. And I can feel it coming of like doing another purge in my house. I have a podcast episode about this. Clean your house, clear your energy. It's important to make sure the energy of your home is clear, just the same way that you need to make sure the energy of your body is clear. And how we do that is get good rest and just getting rid of the things that are not serving us. We think it's so hard to give up things. It's really not. It's like maybe uncomfortable for like a few days, tops. But usually within like 2 weeks max, I would say, if you're giving stuff up, you're saying yes to liberation. We are so attached to things that don't actually do anything good for us. So I invite you to look around at your beautiful life, your beautiful full life, and see where you can let go. Start to look at what can go. Start to ask yourself, if you feel like your house is cluttered, these are like postponed decisions. Clutter is postponed decisions. Clutter is not being able to deal with something in the moment. So it becomes a pile of things and then a mountain of things. Take the time, get rid of it. Overwhelm is misdirected attention. If you feel overwhelmed, stop doing so many things. Instead of being scattered, ask your energy to be sacred. Scarcity is really unhealed unworthiness. It's not an economic reality. It's not a reality. There is so much, and what becomes so much is gratitude for what you have and being so satisfied and nourished with what's already here and being able to get a lot of like delicious satisfaction from very simple things. Overcoming scarcity is not needing so much. And we live in a world where we're just taking and taking and taking, and we think that's the answer, and we need more and we need more. And we have 37 pairs of socks, but we're fucking lonely and we don't have any friends. Like, that's not how it is. We're desperate for community. What we need more of is human interaction, community, connection, family, relationships, deep relationships. Beyond the surface level, we need more community spaces. We need more places to dance and to enjoy and to drink tea and to sit in nature and to be in the forest. We need more time in nature with no agenda. We need to go into nature with no headphones. Like, can you put these things down? Do you have to be listening to something all the time? We need more time being present. The freedom we're seeking is in the spaces that we create when we let go of the things that are not valuable. So I'm curious if this resonates with you. If so, let me know. Drop me an email, hello@sinclairfleetwood.com. I would love to see you at one of our gatherings. You can go to my website, sinclairfleetwood.com, to learn all the ways to work with me. Thank you, family. See you next time.